What is up, everybody? Xenoverse TV here today. Today's video topic is going to be on why I am not hyped for that Dragon Ball Z Kakarot game. This game, well, it's like every other Dragon Ball Z game in history that they have made so far. Now, you play through the story mode as Goku through the events of Dragon Ball Z. Every Dragon Ball Z game has the same storyline. You play as Goku to fight against the whole series of enemies in Dragon Ball Z. It's the same thing over and over again. I'm pretty sure that's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again but expecting different results. Now, the last great, amazing Dragon Ball Z games they had, these are just sales wise, in my opinion. I don't think they are the greatest ones, the last greatest ones, but this is all that we had. Because this company, the people that apparently the people that's making these games, they have some like partnership or something. Like they're like in bed with these people. Like, nope, you can't have nobody else make a Dragon Ball Z game. Like, I would love if they have a chance to give Platinum a chance, Platinum to make Dragon Ball Z games. Those are the people who made Bayonetta. They made a lot of other like action, near Automata, a lot of great action games. Can they make a Dragon Ball Z game? Can we have Rocksteady or Insomniac make a Dragon Ball Z game? Rocksteady made the famous Batman Arkham games, which those games are amazing. We have Insomniac, which made the latest Spider-Man game. Can somebody else make Dragon Ball Z games? Like, jeez, give these people a rest. Because every Dragon Ball Z game is like Dragon Ball. It's like Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi or xenoverse or Naruto Storm games. It's that same anime style where you rush at the opponent, you mash one button, attack, you can vanish, teleport, fly in the air. I hate that style. Can we get somebody else to make Dragon Ball Z games? Like, jeez. As I was saying earlier, the only ones that made a huge difference, which were like which were loved worldwide, but I didn't really like them that much, were like the Xenoverse games. But at least they did something different. They at least remixed the story mode that we played through in every Dragon Ball Z game. Fight against Raditz, fight against Frieza, fight against the Ginyu Force, fight against Frieza, fight against Android, Cell, Majin Buu. It's the same storyline we followed in every Dragon Ball Z game. It's ridiculous. But at least they remixed it in Xenoverse. We fought against had a different plot, different storyline, something with like the time police or something like that. You changed events in Dragon Ball Z history, the events. So that was at least different. I give them that. I wasn't a fan because of that same combat mechanic. I hate the Xenoverse Storm, the anime template pretty much for fighting games. I hate those games that's in that style. Then you have Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which is actually like a 2D platformer, which is kind of like Marvel slash the Arc System Work games with their game templates, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but it's a lot better than the Xenoverse Storm Naruto Storm series games. I'd rather play that than play the Storm and Xenoverse games. That's for sure. But yeah, cause like, could somebody else make? Could they get somebody else to make another Dragon Ball to make a Dragon Ball Z game? Why is it just the same people, that same anime template style of Dragon Ball Z? Is so annoying. Cause I remember during the PS2 days, you had a game called Naruto Uzumaki Chronicles. Can we at least get a Dragon Ball Z game that's like that? That game was amazing. Then they had a sequel as well because that game, I think that game did really well. So they had a sequel. And again, I remember having so much fun playing that first one. I never got a chance to play the second one, but the first one was like, wow, that game was fun. It's like there's so many different action game developers, and then and making an RPG game, you can have nobody else, no other developer. Like I don't understand, like why must they hire the same people to do these Dragon Ball Z games? It's getting old and tiring, and this new one looks the same as the same as the rest of them. Looks just like a Xenoverse, but you get to do missions in between. It's like big whoop de doo. or fly in the open world. Like the last Dragon Ball Z game I truly loved was like the Budokai series on the PS2. Those games were amazing. Those games were perfect in my opinion. I remember when I first got Budokai 1, the first Budokai game on PS2. I remember picking it up at a Best Buy, and I beat that game in the same day I bought it. And I played that game repeatedly. I played the story mode repeatedly. That game is short. That game can be beaten in like a few hours, but I love that game so much. That's one of my favorite. I still remember that game. And the graphics back then were amazing. They didn't just continue with Budokai 2. It was like a board game type of. It was like they pretty much changed the layout to like a board game that he played through like all the villains like Tamaj and Buu. Then the third one, they pretty much just improved it. It just like, each Budokai game, they just kept on improving it with new mechanics, new features. And that third one was perfection. That was like Dragon Ball Z perfection. Then after that, they just went like and just as soon as they made Budokai Tenkaichi, it's like they just made that whole just fighting format. That was like the anime template, and that just ruined it all. It all just went to hell at that point. It was only great if you love that. If you love that fighting style, if you didn't love that fighting style, it was just garbage. Like I hated that fighting style. I could never get into those games. I could never really like that fighting style was just so like oil and water to me. Just understand how to play those games. Like you can't mix oil and water. Me trying to learn those fighting game mechanics at that point, I just couldn't stand them at all. But it's like, and they got this new game. It's like it looks the same as every other one. Like, why? It's like I'm just mind boggling. Like I know I keep repeating myself, but it's like, why can nobody else work on this legendary IP known as Dragon Ball, most famous anime throughout the entire world, through all countries? Everybody knows what Dragon Ball Z is. This is literally the most famous anime. People who aren't even into anime know what Dragon Ball Z is. Why is the same people they have working on this legendary franchise the same the same template? It's like if you play Budokai Tenkaichi, you play Xenoverse, you play Raging. What was the other one? The Naruto Storm games. It's the same thing over and over again. We can't get a different developer. Like, I can see all these other legendary IPs like Batman, Spider Man. What's another one? The Lord of the Rings with Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. They get justice because they got a great game developers and great combat systems. But these Dragon Ball Z games are just terrible. Or even the people that made the Devil May Cry or Ninja Theory, get these people to make a Dragon Ball Z game. Why is it like the same people over and over again? And they keep making the same game over and over again, showing the same timeline of Goku fighting as Raditz, fighting against the Saiyans, fighting against Frieza, fighting against the Ginyu Force, fighting against the androids, fighting against the Cybermen. It's the same thing over and over and over again. It's like, what is going on with these people? And who are these people that's not telling them, that's telling them, maybe we should hire somebody else? Like, why is this not being mentioned to hire somebody else? I was like, I don't know, because I know Bandai usually make these games. I don't know, they just gotta use the same people to make these games. I don't know if that's the same company that's making these games or what, but come on, man, this is getting ridiculous. Like that new game looks completely generic. People are hyped because of a trailer. And I actually saw gameplay of it. It's like it still looks garbage. It looks the same garbage. It's like Xenoverse. It looks exactly like Xenoverse. It's like I know we got a few good Dragon Ball Z games that did really well on the charts, but it's getting back to that phase where we just had a whole bunch of garbage Dragon Ball Z games. It's like it's getting back to that again. Like it's just getting very sad for a franchise that I love that's really popular. It's like they're not getting the justice they deserve. It's like they just giving it the same treatment, play through the same storyline over and over again, and that's that. Here you go. This is a Dragon Ball Z game. Play through the same stuff that you've been playing through for like the past decade. Here you go. I guess they could, what even like they could at least add like Super Dragon Ball Super stuff in this game, but no, this is the So if you playing for the last decade, play as Goku through his story mode. I was like, what is going on with these people? How is nobody in a boardroom or whatever meeting place they have saying like, maybe we shouldn't just play through Goku story mode? Because the people who love the Dragon Ball Z games were playing through that for this last decade. Like, wow, can you change it up? Remotely change it up. Like, I hope this game flops. I usually don't. I usually want a game to do well, but I hope this game does terrible. I hope it does really bad. I hope nobody buys this freaking game. But you're gonna have the diehards who support it. The diehards gonna buy anything that's Dragon Ball Z related because they love Dragon Ball Z. But I'm not gonna buy this game. I hope it flops. I hope it does terrible. I hope they make no money back on this game because they keep releasing the same thing over and over again. I was like, what? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse like they beat the like they keep entering the same story mode they want you to play through. Leave your comments down below. If you're hyped for this game, do you show the same concern as I do? Leave it down below. This is xenoverse TV signing out. Thanks for watching and peace.